Hello, it's Dr. Kimberly Benson Durst coming again to discuss the open door abuse and trauma recovery. This is going to be a series that we're working on, and we're really excited to bring this to you. Today, we're actually going to focus on the different types of abuse and trauma. Not everything that people feel is traumatic. Not everything they go through is traumatic. Trauma is how a person internalizes it, perceives it. It could be prolonged. If it's prolonged, then it causes issues with a person being able to take care of themselves, to be able to concentrate on what they need to, their obligations, to be able to take care of themselves, to do the activities of daily living, to live a balanced life. It could very much turn into PTSD, which is post traumatic stress disorder. What we want to do is, over the course of the next few days, we are going to put out several different videos, and we're going to talk about abuse and trauma recovery. Now, this is not therapy. This is just different perspectives about particular topics. If you are in need of therapy or support, check us out at itsuptoyou.org, and it's also going to be in the comment section. So we look forward to being able to help and serve you. We know that you deserve healing, and a lot of people just don't talk about this stuff. So we're going to get started. We're going to talk about the different types of abuse and trauma. There are a lot of them. So here's the thing. If you check mark any of these, don't panic. It doesn't mean you're so messed up that you can't get help. What it does mean is that you really need to work through this so that it doesn't manifest itself in another area of your life. We're going to go through that list now. Have you ever had abuse of authority? This could be anything from a boss or a superior acting and kind of bullying you, or acting as if they are bigger, better, more supreme than you. This also could be where someone stouts their position over you. This could be where a teacher or principal talks about just how big and bad they are. A police officer goading a person because, hey, you don't want to mess with me, I've got a badge, or someone who's got money or influence. Abuse of authority or abuse of power is very real. So if that's the case, check that one off. The next one's academic abuse. A lot of times this is coming through as if people make fun of you for being smart. They stigmatize you for wanting to do bigger, better. Other times it looks like you don't want to be the smart one. You don't want to be the dumb one. You don't want to do this because we can't afford to send you to a good school. You don't want to do this because you're going to let other family members down. Academic abuse really is quite just that. It's literally either deterring you from being able to be all that you can be, or making fun of you once you're there. Those are big deals too. The next one is bullying and hazing. Now, bullying has been obviously in the forefront of a lot of different topics and cases that you hear about. It used to be, you're a freshman in high school, and, you get picked on by the seniors, and you get swirlies and wedgies, and, it's kind of where it was. They, tape a note to your back and say, kick me. Well, it's gotten a lot worse, especially as technology has come in. People get hazed. They get bullied with cyber tools on social media, and people get embarrassed and they get humiliated to the point where it causes people to have severe depression, PTSD, as well as even suicidal ideation. Bullying and hazing is a form of mental abuse, mental torture, psychological warfare, and that is just not okay. It's also a place where people have an imbalance of power. That's not good. Hazing you hear when people are trying to usually get into sororities and fraternities, it's bigger than that. It's, sometimes it's even on the job. You're bullied and hazed, you're new on the fire department, or you're new on the police department. It's things only rookies have to do, or you're new in a particular school. You just want to make sure that you yourself aren't contributing to this, but two, you want to make sure that you're cataloging, because if you have indeed been bullied or hazed, I want you to know that one, I validate you and believe you, but two, that's not okay. Another one is child abuse. Pretty standard. We've heard about that. This is anytime anyone under the age of 18 is taken advantage of physically, mentally, sexually, financially, not being able to get medical care. They're tortured, they are hurt, abused, manipulated. These things are not okay. Child abuse takes a lot of forms. It used to be um, the main one categorized when people would talk about abuse. Another one in the category is discrimination and prejudicial abuse. This is where people really do get stereotyped because they're a particular race or a sex or um, uh, some gender gap. Now we have people who are fighting to have their pronouns being able to be respected, the LGBTQ community, minority groups. The reality is we should not be discriminating against anyone, period. People are people, and humans deserve respect um, of human rights just as they are. The thing we don't want to do is allow that prejudicial um, commentary and things like that to go unchallenged in a healthy way. Now, I'm not saying take legal matters into your own hands, don't do anything like that, but you want to use the system to be able to advocate for yourself. Being tortured, abused, hurt, manipulated, and having offset comments said to you, that's not okay, and we don't want you to have those thoughts and have them internalized and not have a safe place to process those. So if you've had to endure that, I'm really sorry, because that's just not okay. Another category is domestic violence. Now, we all know, yeah, domestic violence is usually the wife who's beat on by the husband. That is such a stereotype in and of itself. Domestic violence is anything that happens behind the closed doors of a home. It could be child on a parent. It can be a wife on a husband. It could be inclusive of elder abuse, where people are taking advantage of or hurting in some type of way their parent, their grandparent, someone older than they are. It doesn't include the elderly abuse as well. Domestic violence is often stereotyped. If most first responders get to a scene, the first thing they do is automatically it's the husband on the wife. We really need to stop and destigmatize domestic violence. Domestic violence, one, is not okay, but two, we can't just assume it's a man over a woman. Please, let's start breaking that stigma down, okay? The next one is emotional abuse. This is another one that we have heard a whole lot about over the years. This is anywhere that people are playing with your mind, your psyche, psychological. It's making you feel bad for having feelings. It's gaslighting you. It's turning things around on you. It's making you feel like you're not allowed to feel. It's hurt. It's playing with your heart. It's using it as warfare or weaponry. It is manipulation. These are all things that can go in there, as well as fear and intimidation. Emotional abuse is where someone is taking advantage or pulling on the heartstrings. That trauma hurts, and it also then turns people into other hurting individuals. What I mean by that is, you've heard the old statement, hurting people hurt others. Well, that's where this comes from, and we really want to try to stop that. You've also heard about financial and economic abuse. This is where people are not given permission to tap into someone's finances, but they take advantage of it. They'll take advantage of someone having money or an inheritance or possessions, contracts, wills, things like that are manipulated, or someone's in a mental state where they are under the influence of alcohol or drugs, or being threatened that the kids are going to be taken away from them, or it's an elder who is manipulated into changing their will. We want to be very, very aware that this is indeed something that takes place. If you suspect that, get with law enforcement for sure. If you yourself have endured that, talk to law enforcement as well. Get a forensic accounting of your finances and see what you can do to advocate for yourself. The other thing that we have on this list is human trafficking, fraud, force, and coercion. Let me explain. I myself have been trafficked, and it is no fun for sure, but it is so in this realm of myths. People think that this human trafficking is something that happens overseas, and it only happens with foreigners, and it only happens in massage parlors or in nail salons. Couldn't be further from the truth. It is male and female, young and old. It is from the good side of town, the bad side of town. This is both sex and labor trafficking. This is anywhere that a person is being manipulated, told one thing and it's another, for the sake of benefit and profit of someone else. Do me a favor. A lot of these movies stigmatize what human trafficking is, but guess what? It's happening in your community. Yeah, you heard me. Parents are pimping out their own children. They are profiting from their own children as well. I need you to be aware that one of the things we're really wanting to promote here is for us to destigmatize what these things look like. Okay? Satanic ritual abuse, much the same way. I have a colleague and a friend who this is her specialty, and we're going to definitely have her on to be able to talk more about that, but it's just that way. There is some very dark sides to abuse and manipulation, including the human trafficking, that is what they call satanic ritual abuse, and we will get into that a little bit more with some experts in that field. We want to also talk about sexual abuse. Look, you, not just female, not just male, everyone has the right to say what they want to happen to their body. Okay? Sexual abuse is not okay. When you are ready for sex and you want that to take place, then it should be a beautiful experience, not something that is taken from you, not something that's taken from you as a kid, not taken from you when you're married, and yeah, that can happen too. We want to make sure that you are able to process through hurts that you may have had. Sexual abuse is not just rape. Anywhere that you don't have the say of what you do with your physical body, where it comes to how you're being pleasured or someone's pleasuring you, or that someone's taking advantage of you, you want to make sure that you are able to say that you've been abused, and we want to give you that space here as well. Spiritual abuse, substance abuse, abuse of technology. We could go on and on. There are so many different forms of trafficking, trauma, abuse, hurt, neglect. There is a lot to uncover here. Of course, just a couple of minutes is definitely not enough for us to get into everything, but we do want to just topic touch so that you can get educated, so you can get support, so that you can get help and healing in any areas that you might need to. I want you to stay tuned because we will talk about the male response to abuse and trauma, which is oftentimes not talked about. We are going to talk about how to heal, how to feel, how to cope, and how to move on. Stay tuned. Remember, it's up to you.